All right, so it's 2 o'clock. I think we are good to go ahead and get started here. My name is Brian Yost. I'm on the Fed Data Check team at Potomac Wave Consulting. And today we're going to be talking about our new data check, Check 135, which deals with correctly coding the number of offers on a BPA call when referencing a single award BPA. Usually these webinars will last about an hour. Some of them will go over an hour. I think this one will be a little bit shorter because we're dealing with one of our data checks, so we're kind of go over the logic there, and it's not as an in-depth topic as some of the other ones have been. Everyone is muted by default, but if anyone has a question anytime, you can write it in the question box, and you can also raise your hand. There's a little hand raise icon on there. And also, before we get going here, we do have this PowerPoint. It's in our handout section. If you look at the GoToWebinar on your screen, there should be a handout section. You can download it right there. We also will send it out to everybody tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, again, we're going to be talking about this new data check, Check 135. That deals with correctly coding the number of offers on a BPA call when referencing a single award BPA. Let's go over the agenda here. First, introductions. Again, my name is Brian Yost. I'm on the Fed Data Check team. I'll leave my contact info in the chat box if anybody has any questions after this. But let's go over the agenda. So we're going to look at an interesting thing that I found in researching this webinar, which is the solicitation procedures coding choice of subject to multiple award fair opportunity. It's a field in FPDS&G, solicitation procedures, but this choice for that field in particular, we found some interesting things on. Then we're going to get into Check 135 and go into all the logic that's involved in that data check. Okay, so let's start out here. We're going to look at this subject to multiple award fair opportunity. So if you go into the FPDS&G data dictionary and you look up the solicitation procedures field, you can see a definition of the solicitation procedures field as well as all the options for that field. So one of those options is MAFO, multiple award fair opportunity. And the definition is report this code if order was subject to multiple award fair opportunity, which is a little repetitive and it actually isn't that informative. So before I kind of inform everyone of what this really means, I'm going to do a quick poll question to see if anyone's aware of this one already. So the question is, can a competed single award Part 8 BPA have the solicitation procedures of MAFO subject to multiple award fair opportunity? So you can see the key there is a competed single award Part 8 BPA. Can that be subject to multiple award fair opportunity? So I'm going to open that poll up here. And I'll launch it. All right. So go ahead again if you want to get that credit for the CLP points. Go ahead and participate in that poll. Simple yes or no here. As the administrator of the webinar, I get to see the results while you're all doing this. There's definitely a trend, but only about half the votes are in. So let's keep it open another 30 seconds. Okay, I'll close the poll here. So 79% said yes, that a single award Part 8 BPA can have the solicitation procedure of subject to multiple award fair opportunity. 21% said no. So it was actually the crowd is correct here. I'm going to scroll down. Let's look into this a little more. The subject to multiple award fair opportunity. So, I can't find a direct definition of when this is going to be applicable outside of the FPDS&G data dictionary. So we'll get to that in a minute, but I'm going to look at the FAR. So FAR Part 8, 405, talking about BPAs. If you look at a single award BPA, really the only information you get there in terms of, when this can be used and who can be, what kind of, fair opportunity stuff is there. It just says if the ordering activity establishes a single award BPA, authorized users may place the order directly under the established BPA when the need for the supplier services arise. So it's pretty broad. If you set up a single award BPA, you can use it. There's not many restrictions there, and you don't have to inform multiple vendors, obviously, because there's only going to be one. So if we look at the same FAR part for multiple award BPAs, it says the ordering activity must provide each multiple award BPA holder a fair opportunity to be considered for each order exceeding the micro-purchase threshold, but not exceeding the simplified acquisition threshold unless one of these exceptions in this other FAR part applies. It also says the ordering activity need not contact each of the multiple award BPA holders before placing an order if the information available to ensure that each BPA holder is provided a fair opportunity to be considered for each order. So really what they're saying is if it's a multiple award BPA, fair opportunity is going to have to apply to everybody. You've got to let everyone know about the order that's going to take place, or there has to be some sort of publication where these vendors can look and see where they can participate in a solicitation. But now let's look at the information in the FPDS&G Government Users Manual. I have it written out here, but we can actually jump to that in the actual manual itself. I'm going to open this link here. It's opening on my other screen. Okay. All right. I'm just going to look up the solicitation procedure field. We'll take a look at that. Okay, so it says for this solicitation procedures field, for a delivery order, Part 8 BPA, Part 8 BPA call against a multiple award, it will system generate the value subject to multiple award fair opportunity for the solicitation procedures. So essentially that means, and it's rare that you see this in FPDS, I mean it does happen in other fields, but it is unique for a system generated response to be put in that the contracting staff or contracting officers don't actually have any say in. So it is unique. So for any time there's going to be a delivery order, Part 8 BPA, Part 8 BPA call against a multiple award, it's going to automatically, that field is going to just say subject to multiple award fair opportunity. What's interesting about this is it does say here multiple award in the actual description in FPDS&G. So, it's surprising to me that, you would see this coding in a single award, but I guess maybe that is just how it's set up. And you do see in all these definitions, they are directly saying multiple award in all of these. So we'll hop back over to our PowerPoint here. And I'm actually going to skip this poll. I'm going to get a little bit into what our data check is all about. We'll hop back to this in a minute. All right, so we're going to be looking at data check 135. We'll go to the site in just a few minutes here, but again, this is about, is related to BPA calls against a competed single award IDV and more than one offer was received. So what awards are flagged? If an award is a BPA call against a single award IDV, the number of offers received on the IDV is greater than 0. A lot of times, you'll see that there'll just be a blank or a 0 offer, so we exclude those. Number of offers received on the BPA call is greater than 1. So if there's a difference between the number of offers on the IDV and the BPA call, that's fine if the BPA call only has 1 offer, because the assumption there would be there was only 1 offer on that BPA call. And then the number of offers received on the BPA call are not equal to the number of offers received on the IDV. So that's what we're looking for here. So now with that information, I'm going to go out to the actual website. So this is the site for agriculture. Everyone's department website looks pretty much the same. The way that you would get to this report is you could click on the new features, or you could go into the detailed report section. So if you hover on that menu on the right-hand side of the screen, it says Data Quality FPDS&G, and then go down to Data Checks Detail Reports. Open that up. As you can see here, we've got a lot of data checks out there. This is 135, so you got to scroll all the way down, and you can open it right here. All of our data checks, all of our reports have parameters on the side that you can make choices with. So I'm going to do all agencies within the Department of Agriculture. And just so we have some examples, I'm going to go back to FY17. And we're going to include the base and all awards on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit apply. Sometimes these newer data checks don't run as fast as the other ones, but they will in time. Should come back any second. All right, so here we go. FDS data check 135. These are all the, we have all the relevant fields from FPDS listed in this main chart here, but we always allow you to drill out to FPDS to look at specific awards if you want to look at other fields or actually see the contract action report. And in all of our data checks, we provide a description and a reasoning for the data check. So the description for this one, BPA call against a competed single award IDV, and more than one offer received and has a different number of offers than the referenced single award IDV. The reasoning on this one is a BPA call against a competed single award IDV is unlikely to have more than one offer and should have the same number of offers as the reference IDV. So if we look down here, if you see that there were 11 offers on the IDV here and there were 2 on the BPA call, that's really a red flag, because it would, if that single award IDV, it was obviously awarded to one vendor, one awardee. You can definitely see where 11 offers on the IDV, maybe that just they put the same offers in again on the BPA call. But to see 2, that's a red flag in my mind of, where do those 2 offers come from, when really they only could possibly get one offer. And again, down here, it's similar how strange it is to get 18 offers on the IDV, and then you get 17 offers on the BPA call, which would appear that only one offer disappeared. Again, if it was 18, that would be fine. If it was 1, that would be fine. But those are definitely red flags and things that we should check. I have another example here from the Department of Justice that I'll show you that's a little bit different. Scroll down to it here. So here's where we have the number of offers for the BPA call higher than the number of offers for the competed IDV. So this is a weird situation, and I'm curious of if anyone has a comment on this one. We're trying to figure out where would the error be here and how would you actually fix this. A lot of these, it's going to be fixing the number of offers, and that could be the majority of these, but it also could be that these were actually not single award contracts. These were multiple award contracts. That could be where the miscoding is, and that's what needs to be changed. So I'm going to actually open another poll and ask you guys, what data field is most likely the cause of these errors? I'll pull it up here. Again, which data field is most likely the cause for the majority of these errors? So not all of them, but the majority. I'm going to launch that one right now. So the options we wrote there, multiple or single award IDV field, number of offers field, the IDV number of offers, the multiple fields in error, that could be possible. And also you might be looking at this and just saying this all looks fine to me. And if you think that, you can go ahead and click on awards coded correctly. All right, we've got answers all across the board here, which is good to see. I'll leave it open for about 10 more seconds. All right, I'll close out that poll. All right. So I'm sharing those results now. You can see it's kind of, the first 2 are the popular ones, and that makes sense. It could be either one of those. And my assumption on a lot of these, it's the order, it's the number of offers received on the BPA call. that just makes sense to me. That would be what where there's more room to make an error. And also, if we scroll through, really any of these ones where you see a 1 for the IDV number of offers, having that number increase is really unlikely for that to be coded correctly. But some of you also did say that it could be the multiple or single award IDV field. That was the second most popular choice there, and I think that's possible on a lot of these. So this is unlike a lot of our data checks. Some of them are really straightforward. You know exactly what field to go in and switch. This is one where you might have to look at it and really figure out which field is an error. We'll provide you the field to look at, but it could be a number of them. I did have one person say awards coded correctly as is. I'd be curious if anyone wanted to kind of explain what what their opinion is on that one and how these ones would be coded correctly. I'm going to stop sharing those results here so you can see my screen again. All right. But yeah, if anyone does have anything they want to share on those, I'd love to hear your opinion on them. Okay, so I'm going to pop back to the PowerPoint here. And I'm going to ask another question. So we were talking about this solicitation field, the multiple award, subject to multiple award fair opportunity. I was curious if anyone thought that might affect this at all. And I have a poll set up for it, but I think I kind of already spoiled the answer for you, so let's just take a look at it. The answer would be no. This subject to multiple award fair opportunity is not going to affect this award being a single or a multiple award IDV. And if you actually look at the coding, just statistically, 99.5% of all Part 8 BPA calls against single award IDVs are coded as MAFO, subject to multiple award fair opportunity, which is interesting, but there is a reason for it. And there's a reason why that number is so high. I actually can't explain why that number is not 100%, but I'm going to look at the FPDS-NG propagation rules for that field, and we'll discover why. So this is a screenshot here of the FPDS-NG data dictionary, and we're looking at the propagation rules. Let's see here. For delivery orders referencing an FSS or a GWAC, multiple award IDC, that's system generated, which is rare that we see that coding, but that's interesting. Specifically, what we're talking about here is those Part 8 BPA calls. That's going to be system generated, and so is a Part 8 BPA. So, the only thing that's going to be system generated is that MAFO field. So, even if it is not a multiple award contract, if it is a Part 8 BPA call or a Part 8 BPA, then it's just automatically going to be MAFO, multiple award fair opportunity. And because it's system generated and we don't get to look at the user end or the contracting officer end, I would assume if you went in there, you probably couldn't change that dropdown. I would bet it would be grayed out. Okay. I'm sorry, I guess we're getting some people saying there's some sound issues. I'm going to keep going, but if there is any problems, if they continue, please let us know. All right, so I'm going to go back and look at a few more examples here. So if we look at the Department of Justice, I'm just going to click on this first one. Actually, I'm going to click on the second one. That's a mod 0. And then I'm going to hit View. And let's take an extra second. Whenever there's a speed issue here, I've got to remind everyone this is on FPDS a little bit, where we've noticed an FPDS issue in the past few days. I might have to sign in first for this to work. One second, I'm signing in on my second screen. Huh, you know what? It looks like FPDS is actually frozen right now. We might not be able to look at the detail report. But really, the main idea of this data check, flagging those awards where the number of offers differs on the BPA call than the IDV, and that it's more than one. If that happens, an email alert will be triggered just like all of our other data checks, and that would be sent out. All right, so I'm going to open it up now to if anyone has any questions. Again, I've seen some people saying the sound is not great. I do apologize for that. But I'm going to open up now to questions. Anyone has any questions about this data check or about Fed data check in general, I'm going to open it up right now. And if anyone wants to raise their hand, I can unmute them. Okay, so that's pretty much all we have here. Yeah, it looks like we've got this, there's an error in FPDS right now. I'm looking at my other screen, so it's not going to let us look at the detail. But something we do at the end of every week, I'm going to go through a little bit more about Fed data check and a little bit more about Potomac Wave. If anyone does have questions, you're encouraged to stay on the line, and I'll feel free to answer anything that you have. But that's about it with our webinar today on the Check 135.